Ready to make a real impact every day? Join the Active Day Home Care team and help clients maintain their independence in the comfort of their own homes. Make a difference in someone's life as you provide essential daily assistance and protect their health and happiness. Earn up to $20 an hour and enjoy additional perks like optional daily pay, 401k, paid time off, ongoing educational training, and more. Join a team that values care, compassion, and your professional growth. Visit activeday.com to apply.
Welcome to Tales of the Resistance, where we try to bring you news that gives you a little bit of hope in these trying political times. I'm Amber Hunt. Let's jump in. Hundreds of protesters from Michigan and Canada gathered in downtown Detroit and Windsor on March 22nd to show solidarity in their opposition of President Donald Trump's policies. The demonstration was captured in a video shared by the Detroit Free Press. The diverse crowd held signs saying things like, "No kings but us," and "Make Michigan a province." They also chanted slogans advocating for immigrant rights, environmental protection, and social justice. People interviewed by the Free Press also highlighted concerns about Trump's tariff policies, Elon Musk's influence, international relations, and the future of Social Security. One protester, Jacqueline Scott of Farmington Hills, said, quote, "I'm so stressed out based on what Donald Trump is doing. He's taking jobs. He's destroying our democracy. He doesn't care. I worked 50 years for my Social Security and Medicare, and to see someone trying to take it away and give tax cuts to the rich? How's that even possible?" End quote. The protest in Detroit follows a series of political tensions between Trump and Canada. Some Canadian towns have removed American flags citing economic terrorism, though the people in border towns between the two nations have held multiple demonstrations supporting each other. This tidbit combines two of my obsessions, home improvement shows and Tales of the Resistance. Drew Scott, half of the duo better known as the Property Brothers, recently took to Instagram to explain how President Trump's so-called One Big Beautiful Bill ain't so pretty when it comes to renewable energy.
The Energy Commissioner says that if this bill passes through Senate, 50% of Americans are going to be at a higher risk of having higher energy costs, more power outages.
That's because this nightmare of a bill would significantly impact the renewable energy sector by dismantling key incentives established under the Inflation Reduction Act. So what are we talking about exactly? Well, the bill proposes an accelerated repeal of major clean energy tax credits, meaning people would no longer get some of the money they invest in clean energy back come tax refund time. It would also eliminate residential solar incentives, so solar panels like the ones I got a few years ago wouldn't be offset by tax credits either. But it's about more than just helping people financially, as Drew Scott explained.
Our energy grid is so overloaded already, we need clean energy options like solar because it takes demand off of the grid. Over 330,000 jobs are at risk, 300 factories or more that are going to be at risk of closing. This is not a red and blue thing. It's not a political thing. Everything I focus on is families and how can we help more Americans live in safe, happy, healthy, and affordable homes. We need to have clean energy options for that. We don't want to have off-gassing with the house. It's healthier for your children. If this bill passes through Senate, it's stopping Americans from having reliable energy in their homes. It's as easy as that.
By the way, the Solar Energy Industries Association warns that the bill could lead to 331 solar manufacturing facilities closing nationwide, which could mean the U.S. loses up to 330,000 solar-related jobs. And the rollback of energy efficiency programs and tax credits is projected to raise utility bills by 7%, costing households an additional $230 annually by 2035, according to The Guardian. Most importantly, the bill's passage would mean greenhouse gas emissions are reduced by far less than we're currently on pace to reduce. So what can you do about it? Well, the less handy of the Property Brothers has a message on that front, too.
We still have control, and there's still time because we can reach out to our senators wherever you live and let them know that this is not a good option for Americans and this is not what's best for you.
U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents conducted a raid at a pair of popular Italian restaurants in San Diego's South Park neighborhood on May 30th, prompting community members to confront some of the agents while chanting shame. The operation happened just before the Friday dinner rush and involved agents in tactical gear. Several employees were detained, according to NBC7 of San Diego. The community backlash was immediate. Local leaders, including San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria and Rep. Juan Vargas, criticized the raid's timing and execution. The mayor called it needlessly reckless, while Vargas questioned the federal judge's decision to authorize the warrant, saying it appeared to be designed to intimidate the immigrant community. The San Diego raid isn't the only one to spark swift resident reaction. Another raid, June 1st in East Price Hill, a Cincinnati neighborhood, sparked fear and concern after witnesses described agents near the entrance of a Kroger supermarket. The consensus forming is that ICE is targeting people in public places specifically to heighten anxiety and cause undue panic. But as was the case in San Diego, Cincinnati residents banded together, organizing a demonstration. Community Minister Walter Vasquez, who took video of ICE agents detaining 2 of the 3 immigrants reportedly arrested that day, said, quote, "People are afraid and exhausted," end quote. But they're not complacent. Protesters held signs saying things like, "Is this what welcome the stranger looks like?" and "Unidos somos más fuertes," which means together we are stronger. Artist and activist Paola Mendoza led a creative protest in New York City last weekend to demand the return of 238 Venezuelan men who were recently deported from the U.S., many without court hearings. Among them is 32-year-old Andre Jose Hernandez Romero, a gay Venezuelan makeup artist and actor who fled political and anti-LGBTQ+ persecution. He was seeking asylum legally when he was detained and deported to El Salvador's notorious CICAT prison under the Alien Enemies Act. While most of the Venezuelan men are anonymous to the majority of Americans, Hernandez Romero's case has drawn national attention and sparked previous protests.
Andre was seeking freedom, which our nation should welcome. He was coming here because he was persecuted, only to be persecuted again by the President of the United States, who is willing to lie in the Oval Office about people who he says are gang members with no proof.
U.S. officials accused Hernandez Romero of gang affiliation due to crown tattoos commonly associated with the Three Kings Day tradition in his hometown, a claim human rights advocates have called baseless and discriminatory. He is now a lead plaintiff in an ACLU lawsuit challenging the legality of the deportations. Sunday's demonstration brought together over 50 New Yorkers in what organizers described as a public act of mourning, defiance, and collective memory. The protest targeted what Mendoza and fellow activists called the, quote, machinery of authoritarianism, end quote, citing the use of the Alien Enemies Act to remove men in secretive overnight deportations. The action was organized in collaboration with the Immigrant Defense Law Center, which has accused the U.S. government of violating constitutional protections in the deportation process. More information is available at freeandry.org. That's FREEANDRY.org. More than 1,000 people formed a massive human banner spelling out the word resist in rainbow colors on a Santa Cruz, California beach last Saturday. The colorful display was organized by Indivisible Santa Cruz County and was meant to promote kindness and inclusivity during Pride Month. Etched in the sand were the numbers 8647, which, as we discussed last week, is restaurant shorthand for get that 47th president off the menu. Naturally, some Republicans clutched their pearls, calling it a call to violence and accusing the protest of hypocrisy for daring to pair kindness with an anti-Trump message. Sure, Jan. Organizers clarified, because apparently they had to, that the message was symbolic resistance against Trump's policies, not a literal threat. Because, duh. Jenny Evans, co-leader of Indivisible Santa Cruz County, said the demonstration was a nonviolent expression of dissatisfaction with the country's direction. I could have kept going this week because there was a lot of news that gave me hope. For example, Trump was blocked from restricting Harvard student visas, and the U.S. Court of International Trade ruled that Trump's sweeping Liberation Day tariffs were illegal. But I try to keep this roundup tight, so I'll close with this. Wall Street has labeled Trump's approach to tariffs with the acronym TACO. It stands for Trump Always Chickens Out. I thoroughly enjoyed this exchange during a recent press briefing when reporter Megan Casella from CNBC asked the president his thoughts on the phrase.
Mr. President, Wall Street analysts have coined a new term called the taco trade. They're saying Trump always chickens out on your tariff threats, and that's why markets are higher this week. What's your response to that?
I kick out?
Chicken out.
Oh, isn't that nice? Chicken out. I've never heard that. You mean because I reduced China from 145% that I set down to 100 and then down to another number? And we had a dead country. We had a country people didn't think it was going to survive, and you ask a nasty question like that. And in many ways, I think we really helped China tremendously because, they were having great difficulty because we were basically going cold turkey with China. We were doing no business because of the tariff, because it was so high. But I knew that. But don't ever say what you said. That's a nasty question.
As I tell my child, it's best to never let other people know what gets under your skin because they will exploit that. Sure enough, as soon as Trump made it known that taco bothers him, the internet exploded with parody songs. We'll end this week's episode with a few taco tunes making the rounds.
Y'all know the game. Trump always chickens out. That ain't gonna change. Buy the dip, then let it ride. He'll backpedal faster than a runaway bride. Patience pays off with all the cash they've made on the good old-fashioned Trump taco trade. Then I heard somebody say, don't worry, Trump always chickens out. Trump always chickens out. They ain't no heat when he screams and shouts. Trump always chickens out. Just take a break, get some tacos out. It's always a bluff, bluff, bluff.
T-A-C-O, taco, taco, taco. Trump always chickens out. Oh no. Starts a fight, then runs away like a matador in the ASPCA. T-A-C-O, taco, taco, taco. Roars like a lion, scurries like a roach. Tyrant, tough guy, más o menos.
This has been Tales of the Resistance, a production of Grab Back Lab. The show's reported and edited by Amanda Rossman and me. Amanda also produces. Support Grab Back Lab at patreon.com/GrabBackLab.